And now joined by a special guest, former ESPN Insider Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, thank you so much for joining us here, and happy Thanksgiving. You get to enjoy it with your friends and family. We miss you here at ESPN, but we're happy you're joining us to talk about your beloved Bonnie. So for folks who don't know, you were in everybody's life, essentially, as an insider here for this company for years in terms of the NBA. But now you stepped away in September. You've taken this GM role with the Bonnies. Explain what you've kind of gotten into there and how you're helping grow that program.
Well, first of all, happy Thanksgiving back to you guys. It's great to be with you. That's a special crew on the desk there. But I'm having the time of my life in this GM role at St. Bonaventure, obviously my alma mater, spending a lot of time on recruiting, a lot of time on NIL and putting together, not just through our donors and our incredibly loyal alumni base that follows our team all over the country, including to Disney today against a great Utah State team, but building out business partnerships and, putting in place for our current players, for our future players, NIL deals that are going to partner them with national brands and international brands and getting them access to people in their lives in the basketball world and beyond that make coming to St. Bonaventure not just maybe a 2-year decision or a 3-year or 4-year decision, hopefully, but a 40-year decision in really trying to take my network and making it our players' network.
For a lot of people, I think this is a foreign idea, Woj, of having a general manager type position on a college basketball roster. Certainly, we've seen it grow in most recent years. Take me through what the day-to-day is like for you now.
I think the two things that I'm going to work on every day, and I am working on every day, building out our NIL, working with our collective Team Unfurl on those opportunities for our players, and then recruiting and using my relationships all over the world, certainly domestically and in Canada. We're just 3 hours from Toronto at St. Bonaventure. We've had a great history with Canadian players. That's a place we want to plant our flag, continue to plant our flag, but also all over the world, and just building on my relationships with agents and with coaches and with organizations here and globally to really leave no rock unturned on pursuing players. And listen, the best part of my job is being able to be around our staff, Coach Mark Schmidt, who's as good as anybody in the country, and to be able to go out and sell his development program, his success at St. Bonaventure, 10 first-team All-Atlantic 10 players in his tenure, more than anybody else in our league. And to be around our players. We have such a great group this season. We're off to a terrific 6-0 start, but to just try to have an impact in our players' lives. And I'm here to serve our players, serve Coach Schmidt and our coaching staff, bring them as many options as I can find in every corner of this world, and, get them film and allow them to start evaluating potential players. And then when those are players that they're interested in recruiting, then we're gung-ho in pursuing those guys.
Adrian, obviously your path is unprecedented. We all know that. The recruiting you've talked about, which obviously gives you so many different ways to do that. But here's the thing that I think is most impressive. For your current players and for the future players, your access to front offices, your access not only to management, but to the actual decision makers. Now, that's unprecedented. How do you utilize that with your team and your future teams?
Well, it's a big part of the opportunities for our players now and in the future is, being able to get to the decision makers, having access, to GMs, presidents, owners all over the NBA, head coaches, to get them good information on where they might stand and also where they need to improve, and for our players to be able to get them in gyms with NBA players in the offseason all over the country. But, I think for our program, even as I'm recruiting, I'm running video and players by friends of mine in GM positions and getting their thoughts on different players. And then, using that information to help work with Coach Schmidt, Coach Neal, our coaching staff, on the best ways for us to showcase players to the NBA. We're going to have a lot of NBA guys coming through St. Bonaventure, playing in the Atlantic 10 in all the major metropolitan markets. And so you're going to get scouted at a high level at St. Bonaventure. But the thing that I've really loved so far about coming back into this as the GM full time is the enthusiasm of people all over the world who want to help St. Bonaventure basketball, who I've had relationships with, and they know what we have in our program in Mark Schmidt. Again, one of the best coaches, one of the most successful coaches in all of college basketball, that people know when they send their players to St. Bonaventure, they're going to develop on the court, off the court, and they're going to improve, and they're going to have a chance to be pros.
Woj, I've mentioned something else that may be unprecedented. You do have a Tom Crean bobblehead that sits on your desk. I think you just can we show the people that
it's
is
with me
definitely
every day. I've had this
unprecedented.
forever. Come on.
There it is. Coach,
Right
you
there.
can find another question, but there you are. You win Woj all the time.
Man, my head moves like that.
It did. Trust me, I called your games.
That was a big item. That was a big item, Adrian.
There has not been a Woj bomb since you left. I need one on
We're
Thanksgiving.
saving them for recruiting.
No.
We're saving them for recruiting.
I need one.
Guys.
I need one today. What is? Drop a Woj bomb on your favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Well, I'll tell you this. My favorite part this year is being home with my family. I told my wife, Amy, when I retired from ESPN, I would never miss another holiday in our house. And so I'm holding to that. The Bonnies, they don't need me at the games in Florida. We'll be rooting them on this afternoon, but being home with my wife and my daughter, Annie, my son, Ben, that's by far the best part. And that's been the best part of this is knowing that I'm going to be home at Christmas and I'm going to be home at Thanksgiving. And it's great to share Thanksgiving with you guys. And